guys, it's time for this month's So You Like, my monthly recommendation series where I take a piece of media that I've enjoyed over the past month or so, spin out what actually might make it good, and suggest some things that you might like it if you, like me, have enjoyed it. This month's piece of media is Yesterday, which is a Richard Curtis sort of rom-com type thing with a usual absurd premise, and it's just got the concept of what if the entire world, apart from like one person, forgot about the Beatles, and that guy then went on to do all of the music again, basically. He basically plagiarizes the people that did the Beatles but weren't the Beatles in that reality or something like that. And yeah, there's some interesting stuff. It's a bit of an indictment about fame and what fame brings to people, and it just a love of performing, really. The first thing that I'm going to recommend to you based on Yesterday is About Time, which is another Richard Curtis rom-com with an absurd premise to start with, because it's just really heartfelt. They're both of them are really kind of heartfelt, and they have a very interesting premise. So Yesterday is about what if the world forgot the Beatles apart from this one guy, and About Time is how do you deal with things if you and just the other men in your family can do time travel within your own timeline. It's interesting. Both of them have got rom-com elements to them, and they're both really kind of heartfelt in a lot of ways, so it's really, really interesting to see how these two films interact with each other. I kind of want to do a rewatch of them back to back or something, because it kind of feels like they fit together. The next thing that I want to recommend to you based on Yesterday is The Wicked and the Divine, which is quite a different beast, really, but it's a graphic novel series by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey mainly, and the whole concept of them is that they are an indictment of the fame machine, and they are basically there's a love of performing for these people, and the machine kind of chews them up and spits them out. The idea in The Wicked and the Divine is very much based around this is they're gods. They become gods. They are able to do miracles as long as they're performing. And then they die after 2 years. And that's a similar indictment of the fame machine that Yesterday also kind of goes after in some ways. The next thing I want to recommend to you based on Yesterday is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This book is even more damning about the fame machine than either of the other two ones that I've mentioned here is. Like, it's literally a person is dealing with first contact while also being a vlogger, and the fame machine chews them up, spits them out, and then brings them back again. Or does it? Second book spoilers there. Oops. It's just a really interesting premise, really. The next thing that I want to recommend to you based on Yesterday is The Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North. Now, this is more based on one main plot point, and that is the fact that in this book, the main character, no one can remember her. No one at all. Everyone else forgets her after a set amount of time after the last seeing her. So she's got the ultimate get-out clause. Bet that Jack in Yesterday wishes he had that, because it gets real weird and awkward for him, because he keeps insisting that there's a band called the Beatles, and etc, etc. And yeah, no, he very much like the whole concept of forgetting and remembering things is something that is kind of played with in the film. So yeah, The Sudden Appearance of Hope kind of plays around with the similar concepts. And the last thing that I want to recommend to you based on Yesterday is I Only Listen to the Mountain Goats, which is a podcast done by Joseph Fink and John Darnielle of the Mountain Goats, where they talk about the songwriting process a lot. Like, they go through an album at a time where they talk about the Mountain Goats and what the first one was one of the early albums, and the second one was about the current, most recent album at the time that they recorded it, and it was just really interesting insight into the songwriting process, and you may be interested in basically how does the songwriting process happen after watching Yesterday. But yeah, you can basically check that one out for a little bit more insight. So those are the things that I think you would most enjoy if you enjoyed Yesterday. I would love to know what you thought of them, so tell me down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails over there to see other videos by me, click on the link in the description down below to join my Discord, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!